On Wednesday, August 9th, yesterday, at approximately 4 p.m., members of this investigative team apprehended 29-year-old Daryl Hanna Jr. at a residence in East Bradenton and placed him under arrest for this horrific crime. Hanna was arrested without incident and booked into the Port of Manatee jail and charged with armed robbery and second-degree murder, 2 counts. He remains there without bond today. I will try to answer your questions.
Chief, have you determined a motive for this robbery and shooting?
We have not. We're still searching for that outside of the obvious robbery. We don't know much more than that right now that I can speak of.
Chief, what's the connection here between Daryl Hanna and Zoto?
Daryl Hanna was a part-time employee at the Zoda Resort.
Can you tell us what he was doing?
He was employed as a security guard at the Zoda.
Chief, could this have been some sort of inside job?
We have no indication of that.
Was there a prior conflict between the employees that led to this, perhaps?
There seems to be some disgruntled nature, something that occurred. Still under investigation, not much more to say about that.
Did he act alone?
We have no indication at this point, but we're not closing the door to any possibilities.
How much money was taken?
$900.
Do we think his main motive was going after the money, or was this personal?
You know, I couldn't speculate on that at this point.
Do we know how long he worked at the Zoda part-time?
I do not know that, but you should have, all of you, the charging documents in this case, the probable cause affidavit. And within the 4 corners of that document are a lot of details of what you're asking now that are explained, much better than I could explain them. And so I recommend you look at those.
When was he terminated from the security company?
I'm sorry?
When was he terminated from the security company?
He resigned.
Can you tell us why he did that, or?
I can tell you when, but I can't tell you why. And that was on the 4th, I believe.
Chief, can you explain the cutting motion in the video that's been published?
I cannot explain that. We're still wondering about that ourselves.
Chief, I know you said last week that it looked like he was speaking with somebody in the video. Do you still believe that to be true?
I'm not closing the door to that. We don't have any evidence definitively on what that was all about.
Can you tell us how his knowledge of the resort and the construction, how that would have played into him going into there and knowing what exactly to do?
Well, he was clearly familiar with the layout of the building and the entrances, and likely caused him to be able to get in there without being noticed. That's just my opinion.
The other security guard, Kevin Carter, was he armed when Hannah went in?
No.
You said he went in with the intent to murder. How do you know that?
There was no reason to commit murder in this case if the intent was strictly robbery.
Can you tell us what led you guys to him? Was it, I know you had the surveillance video, you have the license plate readers. I mean, was there one really big tip that really helped you guys here that you can talk about?
We received a tip early on. We received many. One tip early on caused us to look at him.
Chief, did he work with Victory Security, is the name of the company?
That's correct, yes.
Do you believe Victory Security should have done more to look at the background of employees such as Daryl Hanna?
I can't comment on that.
Do you think it's possible these charges could be upgraded to first degree?
That would be the decision of the prosecuting attorney. I don't see any reason why they couldn't be, in my opinion.
Does Hannah have any priors?
I don't know his criminal history, other than I do believe he's been arrested, but I don't know to what extent.
Do we think Hannah was targeting these 2 men, or was it more of a statement towards the security company and towards the hotel?
I don't know that.
Things like this don't really happen with a lot of frequency here. Knowing that he's apprehended, what sort of message does that say to the people who like to come and go in peace down here?
It tells them that they're safe.
How has this affected Barbara Key and the residents?
Well, clearly this has been a disruption, and it's been a distraction. Our residents are not accustomed to this kind of violence, and they won't become accustomed to it. This was an isolated incident, and it was an ugly, horrible incident, and the quick resolution to that I think reassures our people that this is in fact a safe community, and it will stay that way.
How quickly did they determine Daryl Hannah as a suspect in this case?
Again, we began looking at him pretty much from the beginning with one of the many tips that we got. We investigated several tips. We investigated several leads, Mr. Hannah being one of them.
Did the island's license plate readers have any role in identifying a vehicle involved in the?
They were valuable in this investigation.
Was this a friend's home he was at, his home, what kind, I mean, where was he arrested at?
An East Bradenton residence. I don't know any much more than that.
Did he say anything when he was arrested?
I can't comment on that.
You know, there are a lot of resorts, a lot of hotel guests around here. This seems like he was targeting this specific hotel. Does that bring some peace of mind to the community?
Well, I believe it might. Clearly, this hotel was someplace he was familiar with the location of the cash drawers and how many employees were on duty and et cetera. So that would seem to indicate that this was a targeted, as we thought from the beginning, a targeted event.
Can you tell us what's left to investigate in this case?
No, I cannot at this point.
Has Hannah been linked to an incident that occurred, a suspicious incident 2 weeks prior at DeSoto?
I can't comment on the investigation right now.
Chief, how much of a relief is this to finally, book this guy?
Well, anytime you put somebody who has the ability to commit such violence in jail, take him off the street, it's a relief. Now, this is a violent world, and there are others out there, as we all know. But putting them in jail is what police do. Prosecutors keep them there, and so it is a relief, of course.
Have you spoken with the victims' families at all?
Briefly, yes, but we have victims advocates that are in constant contact.
Any message from them that you could relay to us?
That and they have been. I have spoken with them. They're our deepest condolences, obviously. We will do everything that we can to see that justice is done here, and that it'll never bring them back, but hopefully it will bring some closure.
Chief, do we know if the reward was collected on this?
No, the reward is still out there, and it will be for some time. We're not done with the investigation, and that is a Manatee Crime Stoppers responsibility, along with Gold Star of Manatee responsibility. They manage these funds, and they distribute them as they deem necessary. With that, I will say thank you, and goodbye.